Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you. Thank you so much, Shalyn and UMA Community Center for having me for our yoga therapy hour every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Would like to welcome my class. Thank you so much for coming back, everyone. I really appreciate your support and attendance. It makes a difference. It's no fun teaching to no one, to an empty screen. So I'll go over my usual suggestions and recommendations. If you have any injuries, please be mindful of your body. You are your own best yoga teacher. If I ask of you to do something that you know will bring pain or more so pain than discomfort, because sometimes we do shapes in yoga that are uncomfortable, but they don't necessarily create pain. So anything that brings you pain that could possibly you feel that it could injure you or perhaps to re-injure you from a previous injury, please be very mindful of your movements. And you may want to try out the thing in a very gentle way before you go, full force into it. And on occasion, we have to skip stuff, just depending on our own body. And that's okay too. We don't want to harm our bodies when we do any movement practice, but especially in yoga, we don't want to harm our bodies. If you need a break, please make that happen for yourself. We will be taking some breaks together, but if you'd like to rest or whatever, bathroom, water, whatever it may be, feel free to do that. So we will get started with a grounding, and I want you to sit or can lay back if you want or sit, whatever's most comfortable for you. And we'll just start with a little grounding. So however your body is positioned, I want you to just notice the parts of you that are touching something else. It could be parts of your body. It could be the floor, your yoga mat, if you're on a bed or sofa, just noticing the contact of your body with some other surface or other part of you. We'd like to settle the breath by focusing your attention on breathing through your nose. And just let's sit with that for just a few breaths. So if the breaths are steady, the breaths are like ocean waves, out and in or in and out, just smooth and steady. They're not jerky. They're not forced. We're not holding the breath too long. We're just letting the body breathe itself. And noticing while you're doing this more focused breathing, the movements of your body that are involuntary. So I'm sitting up, obviously. I notice my chest lift with my inhale. And then I notice my front body, my front torso kind of pop out a little bit when my lungs are totally full. And so just focus your attention on this movement, and then the reverse with the exhale. Front surface of the torso goes back to its neutral position. The chest lowers, and you'll be able to follow that with your awareness. And also noticing with the inhale, the breath, you may be able to notice that the breath goes in a little cooler into the nostrils or through the nostrils. And then when you exhale, it comes out a touch warmer. So see if you can just have an awareness of that. If you don't notice that, it's no big deal. This is just ways to keep our attention focused on what we are doing today. So slowing down the breath. Hi, Fifi, welcome. Slowing down the breath. Noticing the sound of your breath. So that also too can sound like ocean or water movement. You may have had the opportunity to hold a seashell to your ear, and it sounds like the ocean is in there, especially if you have a really big seashell. So see if you can attach your attention to that kind of awareness to noticing the sound of your breathing. From wherever you are, just have a look around your space. If you're laying on your back, just move your eyes around, whatever parts you can see, move your head around a little bit. You don't have to sit up if you're not sitting up right now, but looking at your space with fresh eyes, as if it's your first time in your space, noticing all the things, or you're a minimalist, noticing how tidy your place is. I'm trying to get to, maybe not a minimalist, but to tidiness over here. Just having a look around the room and maybe noticing three things, whatever three things kind of catch your eye, kind of snag your eye a little bit, and just can mentally name those things or silently name those things. And then moving your awareness to any sounds in your space. We'll go inside the space first. So anything you hear, and I'm going to name my things. So I have, of course, I forgot to shut the door. I can hear the refrigerator motor. It's not that noisy, but it's I can hear it. I also have a diffuser going on over here. I can hear that sound. And then, of course, the cat's water fountain. Otherwise, the sounds, there are no other sounds inside. I have those heathens locked away so they don't come barreling through here to make sounds. We'll move our awareness outside. So again, we give honor to the gardener that has not shown up across the street yet. Yesterday here in my area, really windy. My wind chimes outside were gonging away. The trees were blowing. You could see them and hear them. And today it's totally, right now, totally quiet with hardly any wind that I can detect from inside looking out. Moving on to taste. What do you taste in your mouth? I taste a little bit of toothpaste after effect. I had some water after that, so the mint is not that strong. What do you taste? Breakfast, coffee, fruit. And then if you're laying back, come up to seated, please. And I want to show you a couple of things that might help you sit more comfortably on the floor. And you can try these out on your own. Or if you want to make a quick dash to your cupboard where your linen towels, etc. are. So this is a yoga blanket. You can use the entire thing to sit on in certain parts of our class time. Or you can pull it back. I'm going to sit sideways, just so that your sit bones are kind of positioned in a way, or the blanket is positioned in a way under your sit bones that kind of gives you a little support where it raises your spine up a little bit. And it can change your posture in sitting like this. So if you want to try that out, and you have to adjust it back and forth to find your particular sweet spot, because it's different for all of us. And what happens is it kind of lifts the hips up a little bit higher. So you can use it as a total cushion whenever you're sitting, or you can use it to support the hip area of your body and lift you up a little bit. Might make it a little more comfortable on your knees. You can also do the same thing. Not all of us have a yoga blanket, and I understand that. You can use any kind of blanket, but those kind of are really have a firm consistency typically. But you can also use a bath towel. Same thing, you can flatten it out to sit on for all your sitting time, or you can use that same edge to lift your hips. And again, once you find your sweet spot, you'll always be able to find it quickly in future times that you want to sit with a blanket or towel. In the beginning, you might say, oh yeah, that feels right. And then you just, because you're trying to hurry up and catch up and be there. But take your time to find out where that is, because then you'll always know how much of the edge to put under your tush. I typically put one of the folded edges up there, under there, but you can also use the flat edge if you want. And you just have to experiment and find out what works for you. So we'll start with, in honor of my friend, Jackie Sunny B from Florida, we gotta do some stir the pots. So I've told y'all before, these are called Sufi circles, Sufi grinds, Sufi rolls, but Jackie has named these more modernized names, stir the pot. So we're just going in a circle. And I want you to focus on exhaling when you come forward. You don't have to come all the way forward, but if you do, it gives you a nice deep stretch in your low back. You can just stay more vertical if you want. When you come forward, that's your exhale point. When you come upright, breathe in. You can also go around where you come back a little bit. And this is when I come back, I hang on to my knees. This is also an inhale point here. So while we're doing these, I want you to notice the contact of your bottom touching the floor for no other reason than just to keep you focused on what we're doing together. So you'll lean, I'm leaning to the left, I feel my right buttocks lift off the mat, and the same in reverse, leaning to the right, I feel the left buttocks lift off the mat. And so we're just going slow, and even though the torso is doing all the moving, this movement is actually for the hip sockets. Torso's doing all the moving, but the hip sockets are moving around the tops of the thigh bone. So this is a nice way to add a little mobility into your hip joints. You can do these in a chair. You can do these with sitting in a chair with your feet closer together. You can do them in a chair with your feet wide. You don't have to just be sitting on the floor to do these. If you're a passenger in the car, you can do them, maybe not have as much room to do it, but they can be done in different places and spaces, not just sitting on a yoga mat. Reversing to the other way, again, moving the breath and motion linked together, exhaling when you go forward, inhaling when you come back. And I'm gonna do it more vertically here so you can see what I mean by that, where the radius of the circling, well, I don't know if that's the diameter, one of those two mathematical words, not my strong suit. But anyway, where you're not going so far forward and so far back. And so you can do these even discreetly if you're in a meeting or something where you're not the only person in the meeting, but in different spaces, you can get a few of these in. So coming back to center, let's stretch out our legs, windshield wiper your feet. Do this a few times, shaking arms as well. I hope everyone's morning or early afternoon has started well. And then just exhale, hands on the outsides of your legs and lean forward. So we're kind of tight, so we're not going to force ourselves way down. Just come down as far as you can. That's still comfortable for you. And your toes are pointing up, so we get a nice stretch in the backs of the legs. You might feel that. The more you flex your feet and lean forward, the more you can feel a little bit of a stretch or lengthening with the calves, backs of the knees, and hamstrings. And just hold here. Your hands can be alongside your legs at whatever distance going forward that you want. You can have for sitting up more upright, put them on the outsides of your knees, your calves, your ankles. You may be able to reach around the outsides of the feet or the insides of the feet. It's all up to you. You decide. Look down between your knees. You're just going to hold here. So this stretch is really good for your entire back body. The upper back is getting a stretch. Of course, the lower back is getting a stretch. The backs of your buttocks and the total back sides of your legs are getting a stretch. Imagine doing this in a chair. You can do this if you are sitting for long periods in a chair. And you can also, when I'm on the airplane, I do them standing up. So I'll put my tush on whatever surface of the plane is available and just hang forward. And that's a really nice inversion. This is an inversion as well, but standing up and doing a forward bend or being seated in a chair and doing a forward bend is a great inversion. And as I mentioned a time or two, the inversions in yoga help us a couple of things: flood the brain with oxygenated blood, and also helps the heart not work as hard to pump blood to the brain. So inversions are either head and heart same parallel, same level, or head lower than the heart. Those are what our inversions are in yoga. And there's a whole series of those in yoga. Inhale, lift, arms up, sit up really tall. Want to reach up as high as you can with fingers and spine. Then exhale forward. We'll do 5 of these. Inhale, lift. I forgot to say before, you can also put your forearms on your shins in that forward bend as well. Exhale down. I'll show you in a second. Breathe in, lift. This is number 3. Exhale forward. Inhale. Exhale. And this is number 5. Breathe in and come forward and hold. So you can also put your forearms on your lower legs and look down between your knees so the back of your neck is relaxed. And just hold here and take some breath. So the muscles sometimes struggle and protest when you initially get into a shape. And then the longer you hold, eventually the muscles sort of release a little bit or lengthen a little bit. Some can call it stretching a little bit, but it comes with just allowing the muscles to take their time to let go. And then inhale, come up, bring your right ankle above or below your left knee. Above or below the left knee. If you want to gently press down inside right palm on the inside of the right knee gently. Left foot is flexed again to get a stretch on the back of the left leg. And I want you to pay attention to how your hip joint feels. You want to mentally compare left to right. And there's nothing wrong. I just want another way to keep an awareness of what you're doing and any feedback your body is offering you. Then exhale, lean forward. So we're looking sort of like an upside down number 4. Take some breath. So this right leg on top of the left is another hip opener, another version of a hip opener. Smooth breath here. Look down at your left knee. And then inhale, walk yourself up. Place the right foot inside the left thigh. And we're going to go back. We're going to go forward again. And notice how it feels different. It may not feel different, but just see if you notice any differences in sensations by just repositioning the right leg. It's still a right leg hip opener. It's still a forward bend, and we're still getting a stretch on the back of the left leg. Then inhale, come up, turn to your left. Turn to your right. Bring your left hand to your right knee and sit up really tall and twist to the right. So there's some options for the right hand. We turn sideways, you can see. You can have the right hand behind you on your fingertips. When we use our fingertips for different things in yoga, it strengthens the muscles in the hands, okay? You can do flat right palm. You can also wrap the right arm behind, either halfway behind or all the way to the left side, your choice. So when we get this wrapping, you might feel something extra in the front shoulder blade, and I felt something front shoulder cap, right shoulder cap, and I feel something in my right shoulder blade. Sometimes I don't feel that right shoulder blade sensation. So today I do. So again, just paying attention to the vibes that my body is sharing with me. So twisting here, let's move the head back and forth. So you may go slow or fast. Keep the breath flowing. Sitting up really straight and tall, neck is long. And then come back to center, release the arm. Shake out arms and legs. We'll change sides. First, we'll start with left ankle above or below the right knee. So we never want to put anything on our knee joint ever, because it's only supposed to bend back. We're not supposed to press it down. It can cause problems if you do that repeatedly. and cause injury as well. Left hand presses on the inside of the left knee. Right foot is flexed. We're sitting up tall, long spine, long neck. Take some breaths here. Dropping shoulders down. Shoulders are down and relaxed. And then move the left sole of the foot inside the right thigh. Exhale and go forward, bend forward, hands wherever they're comfy. Look down at your right knee. Smooth out your breath. The breath is smooth and easy. They're full, deep, slow inhales, and then complete exhales. You want to extend the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. The exhalation is a way to regulate our nervous system, so you can always extend that to be a little bit longer. Then inhale, come up, turning to the left. The right hand touches the left knee, twisting. You can have the left hand behind you, a flat palm or fingertips, your choice. You may also wrap the left hand over either to the middle of your back, low spine, or you can wrap it over toward the right hip. So I'm doing it this on the left side. I don't feel anything around my shoulder blade, but I feel the shoulder cap getting an opening. And we'll move our head side to side. You may go at your own pace. And come back to center. Extend your left leg out. Windshield wiper feet. Shake out your arms. Bring yourself to cross-legged seated pose. This is also called butterfly or mariposa in my limited Espanol. Drop your chin down to your chest and just hold here. So we're sitting up really tall. Belly button is pulled in. Chin to chest. Just take some breaths, allowing a little bit of stretch, lengthening to the back of the neck. You can rest your hands on your knees or thighs, or you can put them on the floor, palms down if you want. The shoulders are down. Just hold here. And then exhale, go forward. So look down at the floor. You can bring your arms straight out, palms down, or you can cactus the arms. If your shoulders are a little tight this morning, you can bend the arms and put your palms flat on the palms down on the floor. And just hold here. And then walk both hands to your right and hold there. Look down at toward your right foot. See if you feel anything nice happening on the left side of your body. Again, when I call out these different prompts, some of them are target area prompts and others are just for us to not start to daydream. And if you don't feel anything, that is okay. There's nothing wrong. Place the left hand on top of the right hand and see if you notice a difference in the side stretch from just that little baby move. Left hand on top of right and hold. Smooth breath. And then walk hands through center. We're going to the left side. Both hands on the floor or mat to start. Look down at the left knee or left toes. Check on your jaw. The jaw should be relaxed, loose. Now we're not grimacing or straining. In yoga, if you're making those kind of facial expressions, you need to back out of whatever you're doing just a bit until things kind of smooth out a little bit. It shouldn't be painful. Shouldn't be like you're trying to do more than you can. It will come with time. Placing the right hand on top of the left. See what you notice on the right side body. Breathe, smooth breath. And then come back to center, hold here for a few more breaths. And again, have hands, arms extended straight out, or you can bend cactus arms, which looks like this if I were sitting up. That just means the elbows are bent. And then inhale, come up, stretch out your legs and make them wide. And windshield wiper your feet and see how that feels. Bring your legs apart as much as you can before you get into a pain zone. So we don't want to jam our legs open and maybe overstretch the inner hamstrings, but I would like for you to feel a little something. Turn to your right and walk your hands out towards your right foot. Look down toward the right knee. So you may feel a little more intensity on the left inner thigh when you turned away from it and lean forward. See if you notice that. And again, if not, no big deal. Toes are flexed, feet, toes pointing up, feet flexed. So 2 more breaths here. And then inhale up, arms up, reach up really tall, turn to your left, exhale down. Hands wherever comfortable, look down at the left knee and see what you notice on the inside of the right thigh now that we've turned away from it. I meant to mention, try to keep, we're facing the left to make sure the right buttock stays on the floor. If it has lifted up, come up a little bit in your forward bend so that that hip stays on the floor. Otherwise, you lose a little bit of stretch when that opposite side lifts up. Walk to center and hold. You can also try fingertips up, fingertips up. You can come up on your fingertips if you like, or be on your flat palms. You can also try forearms. If you have access to forearms, try that. And then inhale, walk yourself up. Bring your hands in front of your heart. This is called prayer hands, or in Sanskrit, which is the language of yoga, it's called Anjali Mudra. The word mudra means hand yoga, and you've seen a lot of religious and spiritual imagery, statues, paintings, etc., where the subject has their hands positioned in certain ways, and those are all called mudras. There's a whole study of mudras. There's books about it. If you want to learn more, they help with stress and relaxation and different other things that we go through, that you can do a hand placement and just hold that. So this is Anjali Mudra. Take a breath here. Interlace your hands, push your palms away, exhale. Inhale, palms up. So sit up really tall here. And then exhale, we're going to exhale to cactus. Exhale to cactus arms. So again, it's just bent elbows. Arms are pretty much horizontal. The upper arm is horizontal to the floor. And the forearms are vertical. Okay, so that was our exhale. And then inhale, palms in front of your heart. Exhale, push. Inhale, lift. This time we're going to release the arms behind on a diagonal. I'll turn sideways. So that was the exhale. Then inhale, hands in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. Push out, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, prayer. Exhale, push. Inhale, lift. Exhale, arms down behind you, diagonal. Inhale, prayer. Exhale, push. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, hands in front of your heart. Push, lift, release. Exhale. Inhale, hands in front of your heart. We'll do 2 more rounds. Exhale, push. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, prayer. Last one. Exhale, push. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And then inhale to prayer hands. Scoot your legs together. Windshield wipe your legs. Hold in prayer hands and drop your chin to your chest. See if you notice anything, any energy or whatever around your shoulder joints. You may not. Just check it out. Do a little body scan of how things may feel a little different than when we first started. We're gonna move now to cat-cow. So actually, let's do seated cat-cow first. You can see that you can do these in a chair or on the floor, hands on, cross your legs comfortably. Your legs can be up near your torso, or you can push them away. And somewhere in between will feel really nice, and you have to experiment with that to find out where that is. I like mine up tight near my torso because I get a deeper stretch on the inside of my thighs. So you can do these traditional cat-cow we do on our hands and knees. We can make adjustments for spaces that we're in or people that we're teaching. I teach to women that are involved in being sex trafficked, and if we were in a mat class, I would never do personally a cat-cow, a traditional hands and knees cat-cow with them. I just would not do that. It could trigger memories of not the greatest times in their, being trafficked, and so, but I would definitely teach it seated, either on the floor or in a chair. So we'll start here, hands on your knees, palms down. Just inhale, lift your chest, and your chin lifts just a little, but a big arch in your back. So the torso is not leaning, but it's being lifted forward. And then exhale, curve. So curl your spine back, chin to chest. So this would be considered the cat shape. We're going to do these on the mat, on traditional cat-cow too, so you can see the difference. Inhale, lift. I do these in the car at red lights. So this is how we can convert a pose that was meant to be done on a mat. We make it work for us. Exhale, curl into cat. This next one we're going to hold. Inhale, lift and hold. So chest is high. Bring your chin up a little. I don't want your head to flip back behind you because that sometimes is a lot of pressure on your neck. Hold here, take some breaths. So back is arched, shoulders are relaxed, shoulders are down. Check your jaw. And then let's curl into cat shape. We're going to hold here. So again, you can do these in a chair or seated on the floor. And I'm going to show you a couple ways to get on hands and knees. There'll be a point in your yoga practice where you just be able to roll over and come to table. It took me quite a few months, but what I did in between was just to flip my legs to one side or the other, put my feet behind me, and come onto my hands and knees. So eventually I was able to roll over, but not in the beginning. I want to show you how, if you don't have a towel or blanket, if your knees are sensitive, or just because you just want to make a cushier situation for your knees, you just take your mat and fold it up a little bit. So that makes the thickness triple, and put your knees on this area here. You can also do this in lieu of what I showed you on how to sit on your mat. You can also do this for sitting. So we're going into traditional cat-cow. We're going to start with a hold first. So go table pose. So that means hips over knees, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and a mostly vertical line. You don't want to have a deep crease on your wrist joint. So slide your palms away from your knees just a little bit. And your knees are separated into a comfortable way for you. So this is table pose. Some circles call it box pose or tabletop. So we'll go into the cow shape. Drop your belly toward the mat, press into the mat, and lift your chest and your chin. Lift your chest a lot and your chin a little. And we're gonna hold here. So take breaths. See if you notice the releasing of the muscles on the front of your torso. So even though this is actually a back bend, there's also a second thing happening, which is the stretch on the superficial part of your body, which is the front part of your, in this case, torso. We're going to reverse that into cat. So think of a Halloween cat. Lift your spine up, push into the mat. Forgot to talk about the feet. We're on the tops of our feet. So the heels are pointing straight up. Or if you want, you can curl your toes under. And while we're doing this, you're getting a nice stretch on the soles of your feet. So you can try either of those. Anyway, back to cat. Hold here. I'm sorry. And then we'll go in real time. Inhale, lift head, belly toward the floor, cow shape. Exhale, curl, spine up, chin to chest, cat shape. Inhale, belly toward the floor. Exhale, spine up. Inhale, belly to the floor. Exhale, spine up. And then come back to table. Going to do some hip circles. I'll give you some suggestions. So rolling the hips around. You can go really deep and come down near the heels of your feet. Okay. Telephone call. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay. So you can roll deep where you are touching your tush to your heels. Or you can stay more vertical. Okay, so there's choices. You can rock your hips side to side. Get a nice stretch on the sides of your hips, side body as well. You can do it deeply or not so deeply, your choice. You can drop elbow, shoulder as you go around. And I want you to just find whatever feels nice for you. So just do that. Hip circles, kind of be intuitive about whatever, your body will let you know what feels nice to it. While we're doing these, please move your breath. And we're going to come back to stillness. Thread the needle for the shoulders. So you're in table. Lift your right arm, look up. And that was an inhale, sorry. And then exhale, bring the right arm underneath the left. Come onto your right shoulder. Come, turn your face so your right cheek is on the floor or on your mat. So the left hand, you can leave it just where it is. You can extend it out along the floor. Or you can wrap it behind you, where the back of your left hand touches the low part of your spine. And so that wrapping we talked about earlier adds a little stretch or opening in the whatever side shoulder cap. In this case, the left shoulder cap. And just hold here. So I want to talk about the shape again. So I wanted you all to have an awareness of why we're doing some of the stuff we're doing, the benefits of it, not just what the name of it is. Oh, I know how to do mountain. Yeah, what is it for? What does it do? So this is thread the needle or eye of the needle for the shoulders. There's also an eye of the needle or thread the needle for the hips as well. You're in an inversion right now. Your head is lower than your heart. I talked about that already. You're in a spinal twist right now. Spinal twist can help us re-lengthen our spines. In the course of the day, gravity pulls us down, so our spines get compressed. These yoga twists can help us to regain some of that length that we woke up with. I mean, it won't make us taller, but it'll take some of the pressure off the compression of gravity. And then the other thing, the backs of the thighs and the buttocks are getting a nice stretch. So that is the three big parts of doing these arm, what do they call it? Thread the needle arms. Okay, so let's come up on an inhale, come back. We're going into getting near the table pose. Lift the right arm up again, look up toward the right hand, and then right hand on the mat. Back into table, inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, thread your left arm under your right. Turn your head so your right cheek is down. Bring the left, sorry everyone, left cheek is down, excuse me, left cheek down, left shoulder down. The right hand, you can leave it just the way it is. You can push it out along the floor above your head, or you can wrap your back of your right hand to touch your low spine. Those are your choices. So it's an inversion, a spinal twist, and also a little bit of a stretch on the buttocks and the backs of the thighs. Hold here, check your breathing. The breathing is smooth and easy. The jaw is neutral, as is your facial muscles. So we're not, again, grimacing or straining or struggling. If you're straining, struggling, back out of the pose a little bit. It should not hurt. Smooth out your breath. Your brain is getting flushed with fresh oxygenated blood. And then when you're ready, take a breath in. Lift the left arm up. Twist and look up at the left hand down on the mat. We're going to move into cat balance or bird dog. So we're in table pose again. You can have the tops of your feet on the floor, or you can curl your toes under for a little stretch there. Sometimes a toes curled under adds a little stability. So try them both and see which one works for you. Extend your left leg out. So left toes can be on the floor. Okay, or you can lift the left leg. Left foot is flexed, toes pointing down. Okay. Extend your right arm. First, let's start at the beginning. You can just place right fingers. You can see the right fingers on the mat, or you can lift the right arm. Right thumb is up, pointing toward the sky. I want you to stretch out. So stretch out the right arm, even if it's on the mat. Stretch out the right foot, leading with the heel of, left foot, leading with the heel of the left foot, leading with the fingertips of the right arm, right hand. And hold. Pull in your abs, pull in your belly button to tighten up your abdominal. That helps to support and stabilize you. And then exhale, right hand down, left knee down. We're shifting over. All your weight over to your left knee. You can send your right foot back, either on the right toes or lift the right leg. Right toes pointing down. Slide your hand out, left fingers on the mat, or lift the left arm. Left thumb is up. Pull in your belly button. Hold here. Look down toward the floor so the back of your neck is long. This cat balance, bird dog. Yeah. And then exhale everything down. We'll go back to the first side one more time. Left leg out. Low or high, wherever you want it. Right arm out. Low or high. Look down at the floor. Check on your breathing. And I meant to say the hand that's on the floor, the palm is flat and the fingers are wide. That helps to support you. Take a couple more breaths. And then come down and then change sides. So right palm flat, fingers wide. Right toes pointing down or toes touching the floor. Left fingers touching the floor or left arm up, left thumb up. Hold here and breathe. When you're ready, come back down. We're going to go to the other side. Extend the left leg, extend the right arm, just bend the left knee. So your left foot is pointing toward, the sole of the foot is facing the ceiling. Just another version. You might feel a little stretch on the front of the left thigh. And then everything down on the floor will change sides. Right leg out, bend the right knee, extend the left arm out. And then lower hand, left hand, right knee. I'm gonna go into child's pose. So separate your knees wide. Big toes touch. Walk your hands out so you have some option. Traditional child is forehead on the mat, arms extended, sort of in a prostrate position, a position of submission. If your shoulders are tight, cactus arms here. You can also bring your hands down by your ankles. You can also stack your fists. If you want to bring your head up a little bit, stack fist, forehead on the fists, or stack palms, one palm on the other, forehead on the palm. So those are your choices for your arms for child's pose. So child's pose is one of the 4 resting poses of yoga. The other 3, corpse pose. I always say this, they say down dog, I don't believe them, the sages, and them, the experts, but down dog and mountain, those are the 4 resting poses of yoga. Walk your hands towards your right. So we're in child's pose, walk hands to the right. Hold here. And then walk hands to the left. Hold here, take some breaths. And then I want you to come down on your stomach. Moving into Sphinx pose. Come down on your stomach. This time I want you to allow your heels to flop out. So means the legs are relaxed. Sphinx pose is shoulder and elbow vertical, like an L shape, and then elbow and wrist horizontal. I don't think that's right, but yeah, horizontal. Like the Egyptian monument. So this is a gentle back bend. So normally I would cue this to be on the tops of the feet to engage the legs, but I'm gonna have you just drop the heels out to the side. So sort of like your big toes are touching and your heels are flopped open. And just hold here, lift your chest, not look down, lengthen your neck and kind of gaze toward the floor, a little bit distant from where you are. So I don't want you to look directly down, but I want the neck long. Just hold here. The arms are near your side body. The insides of your upper arm are sort of touching actually the side breast area. Check on your breathing. And even here, you can pull your belly button and it gives a little, turns on the abs a little bit, a little more support. Then we're gonna move into table pose. So inhale, come to table, and then exhale down to child. Inhale through table, back to Sphinx. So you have to readjust your arms. Inhale, move through table. Exhale into child. Inhale, move through table. exhale down to Sphinx. We're gonna hold here. So come back to your Sphinx pose. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs. And then I want you to stack your hands. I'm gonna go into what's called sleeping baby. Lower your lower your right leg onto the floor. So you're on the top of the right foot, or the right heel is falling outward. Bend your left knee. So the left knee is in the direction of your left elbow. The inside of your left leg is on the floor. So just like babies sleep, some adults sleep, I sleep like this sometimes. Turn your head, cheek down. Right cheek down. So right cheek to your hands and hold here. This is called sleeping baby. And then extend the left leg down, bend the right knee, slide the right knee up toward the right elbow. We're not trying to touch the right elbow, I'm using that as a directional cue. Now we're going to turn our our left cheek down. You can also do this with forehead down on both sides if you wanted to try that without, sometimes turning the neck can be uncomfortable. So you can have forehead on stacked hands. Your right knee is bent. The entire inside of your right leg is on your mat or on the floor. And then slide your right leg down and straighten it out. We're going to move into Shavasana. So Shavasana has a twofold definition. So it means corpse pose. And I mentioned before, corpse pose is one of the 4 resting poses of yoga. So traditional corpse, we just lay out on our back. The legs are separated, feet drop open. Arms are a quarter of the way away from your thigh and your hip. Palms are up. That's traditional corpse, traditional Shavasana shape. Some of us have tight low backs. We can bend our knees and bring the soles of our feet to the very outer edge of our mat and let the knees drop together so they support each other. Okay. For a lot of us, laying on our back is not the most comfortable thing. So bring your knees to chest. There's another option here, and turn onto your favorite side. Side corpse, knees stay bent deeply, and the bottom arm is your pillow. So this is side corpse. The top arm, you can just lay it on the outside of the upper leg. For me, it's my left leg is on top. You can bring the palm of the upper hand to just touch the floor or touch your mat. Those are your choices. You can also do Shavasana seated, which is always permitted. I just want you to please do a little body scan of how you feel. So noticing your feet. Noticing your legs. Noticing your hands. Noticing your arms. Noticing your hips. Noticing your shoulders. Noticing your spine. Noticing your breath. On your next inhale, bring your arms up and over your head and take a big stretch. Big stretch. Big stretch. Point and flex your feet. Circle wrists and ankles. You can flex and release your hands and your fingers. Next exhale, bring your knees to chest. If you're not on your side, bring your knees to chest and turn onto your favorite side. And allow your bottom arm to be your pillow. And focus your awareness on your breathing. Focus your awareness on how you feel. Focus your awareness on if you notice any changes in how you feel, in your emotional state, in your energy state, in your mood. And when you're ready, push yourself upright to seated. I want to thank you all for coming. You made my morning. May you be happy. May your life have meaning. And may you be an instrument for social change. If you have any questions, you can